Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very, very special video podcast by myself, Rory Bailey, and my good buddy Paul Baker. Paul, how's it going?
Going good, man. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, man. What we're going to be talking about this week is Impact's Bound for Glory. We broken up our usual programming just so we could do this nice preview because we're both wrestling fans. We're both former wrestlers to a degree. He and such, you a lot more successful than I was. And we're
I
both
woubut
fans of
that
Impact.
far,
Yeah, but yeah, you were. You got ECW, man. But anyway, yeah. So what we're going to do for this episode is we're going to talk about the card for Bound for Glory, what potential surprises we might see, a few of the rumors going around, and offer predictions on each match. So yeah. So the first thing that I'll talk about is Will Ospreay versus Mike Bailey, which personally, I'm conflicted on that because I think Will Ospreay is someone that shouldn't be losing because he's Will Ospreay, but Mike Bailey is the Impact guy, so you sort of want. I'd sort of think that Mike Bailey would win to give him the rub. Do you know what I mean? But
I think Bailey should go over. I mean, Will Ospreay, his name's thrown everywhere now. I mean,
yes,
before we even got on air, we were talking about him maybe going to WWE.
yes,
So
because
if he's
that
planning
has been
on
rumored.
leaving, yeah. So if he's planning on leaving Impact, the only responsible way to go out is on your back.
Yeah. But the thing is, he's only just going to Impact for Bound for Glory and Turning Point in the UK tour, which I'm quite looking forward to because I've got tickets for 2 nights of that, so that should be cool. But yeah, I agree. So we're both going Mike Bailey.
Man, I don't know if I want to make a pick on this, but yeah, I think Bailey should go over. I don't think Will should go over on that.
Fair enough. No, I'll agree with you. So okay, we were going to do a recap thing after Bound for Glory and see who got the most right, but I do think we're probably going to be picking the same things most of the time, to be honest. So the other match that we've got is the Knockouts World Tag Team Championships, where it's MK Ultra versus Tasha Steelz and Donna Perazzo. MK Ultra being the Knockouts Tag Champs, Tasha Steelz and Perazzo being two of the biggest names in Impact's Knockouts division for the last 3 or 4 years. Like personally, I go with Steelz and Perazzo because Perazzo was one of the longest reigning Knockouts champions that they had. It's Bound for Glory. It's a big name. It's someone that could conceivably do with the Knockouts tag run.
I'm gonna disagree with you on that, only because of the single success Parazzo had. You don't want to kind of kill your women's tag team division by having two singles competitors just mashed together, because you
Yeah.
know that lasts a long time.
Sometimes it can work out
So
really well.
sometimes, maybe one out of 1,000, but yeah, I think the champs are going to retain this time. So there, we're not the same.
Okay. So I'll go Tasha Steelz and Pratt, so you're going for MK Ultra. Fair enough. Next match is a Four Corners Monsters Ball match, which is there's 3 matches that I'm really looking forward to, and this is one of them. And it's PCO versus Rhino versus Steve Macklin versus Moose. And I honestly don't know who to pick here. I think the winner is basically going to be us.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Come on, you have four big ass names in there. I,
This is it's difficult, man, isn't it? Like all 4 of them are guys that could conceivably win this. PCO has had a massive career resurgence over the last decade or so. Rhino is Rhino's Rhino. Steve Macklin, since jumping from WWE to Impact, has had a really good run. Moose is great and has been a really good hand for Impact for the last few years and such, especially during the pandemic years where they had no arena, no fans in the arena and stuff. Moose was on fire there and really helped elevate the show. So I'd like to see Moose win because it's Bound for Glory, and it's nice. I'd like him to get the rub, but I'd also like to see Steve Macklin win because he's had such a good run leading up to this point, and Rhino because it's Rhino, and PCO because it's PCO. So I don't know. I'm going to say Moose. Friend of the channel, we'll say Moose.
All right, okay. See, now you're making me think. Y'all see the smoke coming out? I would love to see PCO win this one because I think his career is finally on that downswing. You know, he can't do this forever. But then again, he's not alive. So,
That's true.
I don't want to bet against him, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Rhino because out of everybody there, he's the underdog. Who would have thought
Yeah.
to say Rhino's the underdog in a match?
Well, yeah, that's true. Okay, so our second disagreement. So I've gone Moose, you've gone Rhino.
Yep.
So, okay. The next match on the match card. Sorry, if people wonder why I keep looking down, it's because I've got the card in front of me to remind me which way we're talking about things, so I don't miss anything. The next one we're talking about is the X Division Championship match. I'm really, really looking forward to this because it's 10-time X Division champ Chris Sabin defending against Kenta. And that's just going to be an awesome match. There's no way that isn't going to be good. That's
they're not walking out of there unscathed.
Oh, definitely.
That's going to be a very snug match, extremely snug.
Well, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, who we'll talk about later, those two are guys that are reasons why I started watching Impact to begin with. Well, no, I'll rephrase that. I tuned into Impact in 2004 because they got Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Macho Man, Jeff Hardy, and Jeff Jarrett in a pay-per-view main event. And that was the first TNA show that I saw. And on the undercard, you had Chris Sabin in the X Division title scene. And it was awesome. And Petey Williams and Alex Shelley. And so I ended up loving Impact because of the X Division. And Sabin has been a huge part of that. But Kenta's awesome as well. And so I'm going to go with Sabin because he's only recently won the title. I think Sabin keeping the belt would be cool.
Once again, I'm going to disagree with you. I think with Kenta's history, you know, New Japan, WWE, or NXT, or however you want it's all under WWE, whatever. And then he goes to Impact. That's a name you want associated with a title. No disrespect to Sabin because he helped build the foundation of what Impact is.
Yeah.
But then again, that's also going against him because he's been there for so long. You kind of want a fresh face. You want a fresh face for the X Division title. Kenta could be the guy.
That's true. I mean, one thing that just completely left field fan theory that I've seen floating around that people have been going on about on Twitter and message boards and stuff. Obviously, Bound for Glory this year takes place from Chicago, and
don't even say it.
I know. But the dream match for years has been Kenta versus Punk, and can you imagine the thing? I don't think Impact and Punk would actually happen. I don't think the finance is there.
Yeah, Impact don't have the money to bring him in.
And that's no disrespect to Impact. I just the amount that he's been offered from like the amount that he was getting paid in AEW and the amount that he'll no doubt be offered to go and put Roman over in WWE and stuff, I think would be different to what he'd get for Impact unless Impact are going to have a very short run with him. In which case it would get a lot of more eyes on the product and stuff. It depends on what they do. But if Mr. Brooks ended up going to Impact and turning up at Bound for Glory, I think this would be the conclusion. This point would be where to do it. Realistically, Kenta wins the title, Cult of Personality plays, there you go, a little square off, and then that's your next pay-per-view match. Even if it's a one-off, that would be awesome. But I don't think that's going to happen. I've just seen it rumored.
Bound for Glory is... Remind me when it is.
It's October 21st. We're literally 6 days away. at
All
time
right,
of
so
recording.
you can't have Punk in there because he's still under a non-compete.
Is he though? Because they haven't
Yeah,
released the terms of his
he
release.
has a 60-day non-compete.
Ah, okay, I didn't know that. Okay, fair enough.
If you paid
We've
attention,
just put
because
that rumor to bed.
I watch MMA, and
Ah, okay.
he went back to doing commentary for one of the leagues, and he said, I'm free for the next 2 months, which
Ah, okay.
60-day non-compete.
Okay, yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Okay. Anyway, I'm going Saban, you're going Kenta. We'll forget those Punk rumours. That was one of the things I was alluding to when I said we discussed the rumours. We discussed it, and we put it to bed.
Yeah,
It's not
see,
happening. There you go.
we're taking care of business.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, next match we'll go for is the Impact World Tag Team Titles match, where it's the Rascals versus ABC. ABC being Ace Austin and Chris Bay. Rascals being the tag champs who recently beat Subculture on, I think that was on one of the Impact 1000 specials. So the Rascals have only held the titles for a couple of weeks. So personally, I can't see them losing the title at Bound for Glory when they've only just won them.
Yeah,
So I'm going to go
this
Rascals.
one, I'll agree with you on this one. You can't take them off that quick.
No. I think it'll be a hell of a match, but like you say, I can't see why they'd take the title off them so soon. So that was a very quick prediction on that one, wasn't it? So the next match is going to be a bit of a tougher one to call, as it's the Knockouts Championship match between Trinity Fatu and Mickie James. So Trinity's already the Knockouts champion. I think that the biggest thing here is that there's rumours that one or both of them might be WWE bound because both of their husbands work in WWE. So it's very difficult to predict based on that fact alone. Nothing to do with the storylines or ability. It's based on who we think will actually stick around past Bound for Glory. If it's both of them, I like Trinity as champion, but I've been a Mickie James fan since WrestleMania 21, which I actually got to tell her last year when we were lucky enough to interview her in Birmingham. But at the same time, I actually got to tell her. I stuttered my way through telling her because of that. Holy shit, it's Mickie James. But as a fan, I'm going to go for Mickie James.
All right, see, so I actually have a different story, which makes me a little bit bitter. Because a long time ago, when Mickie James was known as Alexis Lurie,
yeah,
she was in Altoona, Pennsylvania, at a show.
Okay.
She borrowed $20 for a taxi from me, and I never got it back.
So you want her to win so that she can pay you back because of that championship money? Yeah.
I mean, if you want to compound some interest here, you're talking 25 years almost, 26 years, yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Probably be up to like $30.
Nice. So
now I'm actually going to go with Trinity on it.
Okay.
Only because I'm bitter.
Okay, fair enough. Well, we can't really, it's because of the outside factors and stuff. We know that Nick Aldis has just turned up on SmackDown in WWE as of last week, and obviously Jimmy Uso is a major focal point of TV. So both of their husbands are like featured prominently now on WWE TV. So I could see either of them turning up there soon. But yeah, either one of them could win this. So I'll go Mickie, you go Trinity. That's fine.
Well, we could discuss this on another show, but I do not like what they're doing with Nick Aldis. But that's different story, different show.
I think it depends on whether he's actually, if he's at the point where he doesn't want to wrestle anymore, then fair enough. But I'd like to see him. Well, I think he's someone that could have got in and gone straight for at least a mid-card title run and then a shot at Roman or something. But yeah.
Well, look what they're doing with LA Knight.
Yeah.
And LA Knight came up together, so
Yeah. Well, Nick Aldis, I don't know if you're aware of this. He used to write for a British wrestling mag over here. Before he got into TNA the first time when he was because he got signed as Brutus Magnus as part of the British invasion. In fact, the last time TNA came to the UK, sorry, Impact came to the UK, me and my son watched their one NWA show that they had during the day, and it was Aldis versus Doug Williams, and they were the British invasion for TNA to begin with. But yeah, so anyway, he started off as a magazine writer alongside Bill Apter and a few others in the UK, and I used to read that regularly. Can't remember the name of the magazine, which is annoying because it's been gone for like over a decade. And then when I started wrestling, the very first issue of a magazine called Resurrection British Wrestling got Aldis on the cover with the TNA title, and the first ever write up about me was inside there as well. So I got to share
nice.
I got to share a magazine with him, which I'm quite chuffed about. And then I met him in person during the first year of Team Venom Media being a thing. So 2013, 2014 sort of time. And at the time, his wrestling name was Magnus. He'd just been TNA champ, and it was Showmasters thing in London. And I was in the non-public area and stuff. And we were walking through there because we got presses on. We were quite chuffed. And we saw him, and I was shouting him. I was there going, Magnus, and nothing. And then I just went, Nick, as that just got, he turned around and he just fucking gave me the stink eye. Like, sorry. And then I tried to approach him for an interview. I got told no way. Ups and downs. But no, I'm really, really happy to see that he's at least being featured prominently on TV.
Yeah, but like I said, another topic, another show.
Yeah, because I got us distracted. Sorry. The most difficult match to go for, because there's no participants announced officially, as far as I'm aware, is the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match, which usually has a bunch of different talent, including new debuts and stuff going in there. I'm assuming we'll get Santino Marella, Heath Slater, and Vladimir Kozlov. He's just recently turned up on Impact, so I'm assuming they'll be in the gauntlet. I was originally thinking, like prior to the last week or so, I was thinking that Bully Ray would probably win it to get Team 3D a tag title shot, because they reunited for Impact 1000 a few weeks ago. But it's now come out that Team 3D, sorry, the Dudleys have signed a WWE Legends deal. So that's them out of that. So out of everyone on the roster, guys like Eddie Edwards, Eric Young, Sammy Callahan, that aren't mentioned in any other matches so far.
That's what I was thinking. Team Canada.
Yeah.
They'd got to be in it.
Well, this is it, and you got, yeah, and they also had James Storm and Chris Harris came back for Impact 1000 and stuff as well. They could still have something. They could come in and win the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. And the thing is,
fun fact about Chris Harris. We actually, on my old podcast, Kings of the Roundtable, we had Chris Harris on. He was slated for 10 minutes. He's like, I only got 10 minutes. Well, that's all I can do. Like, hey, cool, great. Hop on. 3 hours later, he's still on there talking.
Nice.
Hell of a nice guy.
Nah, nice. Yeah, no, fun fact, on the flip side of that, one of my first encounters with a big name pro wrestler was James Storm. And that was the same weekend that I met Nick Aldis on that I mentioned earlier on. I met James Storm first, and we stood chatting to him, and he wasn't allowed to. We asked him about doing an interview with him, and he says, "Oh yeah, I can't really because I need to prepare or whatever. I'm not in the right mindset for." I was like, "Okay, fair enough." And then he just, but he still stood chatting to us for about 20, 30 minutes, and was giving us loads of advice about the wrestling business, because at the time, myself and my buddy Dave, who had gone to the Comic Con, we were both wrestling, and we were like a tag team on a few indie shows and stuff. And so yeah, we got a load of advice from James Storm, which was pretty cool.
All right. So, so I've interviewed Chris Harris. You've interviewed James Storm.
Yeah.
Why don't we just combine the two and get America's Most Wanted on here?
So are we just gonna for the call you shot one? Are we just gonna say, yeah, we want someone from America's Most Wanted to win it and go for the tag
Yeah,
titles?
yeah.
Sound. We'll go with that. Okay.
Don't matter
It's been a
who.
really easy prediction podcast, to be fair. Also, I'm just going to quickly mention this to some of the viewers and listeners. If I'm sounding a bit flush, it's because I've been fairly under the weather this week, and I'm just not quite 100% at the moment. So I know I can notice that I'm not sounding myself. So I apologise. Anyway, main event: Alex Shelley, world champion, defending against Josh Alexander. Alexander, who had to forfeit the title via injury. Prior to that, was the longest reigning Impact champion of all time. Who have you got for this?
Ooh. I'm gonna go with Shelley. I
Okay.
think that's a storyline that's not a one match done. They're gonna
Yeah.
have a couple. They're gonna have to have a series of matches. I think they'll go back and forth, and at the end, then I think Alexander will walk away with the belt. But
Yeah.
no, for the first one, no. Alex Shelley's gonna keep this one.
I'm just going to agree with you. Like I said earlier. Yeah, well, it's like I was saying earlier, Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, America's Most Wanted, and other things like that are what brought me to the Impact table to begin with, drew me into their product, and they're a large reason why I still continue to watch. And Alex Shelley being the world champ has been a massive highlight for me. I think I think he should have a really decent run. So yeah, no, I agree. And then winning at Bound for Glory in the main event is another feather in his bow, and fully behind that. That's what I'll go for.
See, that's the thing about this. Like a lot of people will downgrade Impact Wrestling. They just think it's just a really upscale indie fed. If you
Yes.
actually sit down and watch it, they got some damn good stuff on there. People don't give
Yeah,
them
yeah.
enough credit. This
You
isn't
know,
the same TNA or Impact from the 2000s or the 2010s. Totally different product now.
do you
It's
know
a much more enjoyable product.
the thing is, in 2010, it was still doing bigger numbers than AEW is doing now, and it had higher star power, and people just found reasons to shit on it, and that happens quite a lot, and it's really weird because they've always had a really decent blend of legends and up and coming guys on the roster, and when AEW formed, for example, they took a hell of a lot of guys from Impact straight away. Like LAX, for example, not Hernandez, sorry. LAX, the newer one, Santana and Ortiz, they were the longest reigning Impact tag champs, and they went to AEW. You got Ethan Page, who was Josh Alexander's tag partner, who coincidentally beat that title reign alongside Josh Alexander, and then left and went to AEW. And AEW have taken a lot of talent from Impact, but there's a lot of guys still at Impact that are making the product great. And in fact, there's people that we haven't even mentioned for that gauntlet. For example, there's like Rich Swann's on there. Rich Swann's awesome. Eric Young, Sammy Callahan, Eddie Edwards. You know what I mean? There's some really top tier talent there that people are just sort of sleeping on because they're not aware of it. And yeah.
Yeah, Impact's about growing who they have. They're not too concerned about bringing in a name from AEW or WWE because that's all AEW does. They
Yeah,
only
yeah.
want to bring in these big names. They'll feature them for a couple weeks, get a little bit of a spike in numbers, and then nothing.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Impact they're
It's
not bringing in
consistent
these
is the
big.
best way of
Yeah,
describing them.
exactly.
Yeah. And like you said about the Josh Alexander, Alex Shelley thing, there's a lot of times where they could have hot potatoed the title on people, and they don't seem to do that. They seem to have like the whole long term storyline booking going on with quite a lot of the guys, and I appreciate that. You know what I mean? I appreciate watching it for that. I think the worst time for Impact recently though was when Omega won the title, because he won the title. and didn't lose it to an Impact guy. He lost it to Christian on AEW, and then Christian lost it to someone in Impact. And it was still cool seeing Christian go back, but I thought it was annoying that Omega won the title and didn't lose it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. I get you.
But yeah, anyway, Bound for Glory. Out of all the matches on the card that we've discussed, personally, I'm looking forward to the main event, the Monsters Ball, the X Division title match, and the Knockouts title match, to be fair. Actually, to be honest, Ospreay and Bailey should be really good as well. The Knockouts tag title will be good too.
No, from top to bottom,
you know what?
And
Obviously the men's tag titles. I think I was going to say what matches I'm looking forward to the most, but I actually think I'm looking forward to all of them, which is really good. And it's with a lot of the other wrestling companies out there, I don't get that. I don't look at a card and go, I'm looking forward to every single match. Whereas Impact, more often than not, I think, yeah, looking forward to all of those. And that's why when they come to the UK at the end of October, the week after this Bound for Glory thing, I'm going to be taking my son there for 2 shows in a row. Because why not? Because, yeah.
Hey, I go whenever they're down at the old ECW arena. Not just for memories, but, they got a damn good product.
Indeed. Well, we'll wrap this up. Thank you, everyone, for watching, listening, however you found our show. Thank you, Paul, for essentially carrying me because I am about ready to drop, unfortunately, with illness. But yeah, thanks everybody. We'll catch you all soon, and we'll attempt to do one of these after Bound for Glory to recap what's happened on that. So yeah,
sounds good. Peace out.